Welcome to the 12th Co-Creative Thought Transformation video. At this point, you might be thinking there's not much left to transform, and you would be right. You have been through 11 alchemical thought transformations that have led you to this final step. Let's review what you have already practiced so you will understand how far you have come and the impact on this final goal. With the first co-creative thought transformation, you learn to open to the assistance of your co-creative partner and the possibility of attracting and receiving what you wish to manifest. You began the cleansing process with the second co-creative thought transformation by realizing that what others have does not diminish what you have, what you can attract, and what you can receive. There is no need for jealousy or envy. You can receive more than your fair share. Key to the cleansing process is lifting your mind out of the mental ghetto. Negativity of any kind will mask the guidance of your co-creative partner and impede your ability to attract. In order to communicate clearly and receive, you must literally rise to the occasion, leaving anger and lower thought forms behind. With the third co-creative thought transformation, you began to spend time in silence and reflection, thereby increasing your ability to perceive subtle responses and insights into the manifestation process. As you travel the heart journey path to self-sufficiency and spiritual wholeness, others may or may not keep pace with you, or understand the changes you are making in your daily routine and interactions. The fourth co-creative thought transformation taught you that you cannot compare your journey to that of others, nor can you allow yourself to be delayed or derailed by the experiences or lack of experiences of others. You must walk your own path and journey in your own way. It is easy to focus on input from the five senses. What you perceive in the visible, physical world are obvious experiences and can take precedence. But with the fifth co-creative thought transformation, you learn that there is more here than meets the eye. You need to develop multidimensional perception and also focus on the subtle experiences and interactions with the invisible spiritual world. This includes not only communications with your co-creative partner, but also the meaningful coincidences that are part of your heart journey. A lot of what you know and believe to be true has been conveyed to you by others. It is second-hand knowledge, someone else's experience, assessment, or truth with a small t. The sixth co-creative thought transformation taught you to value your direct experience of reality and personal understanding of these interactions, even when the insights contradict ingrained attitudes and mental constructs. In the same way that you are opening your heart to receiving, you are opening your mind to perceiving. At this point, you are halfway in the process and practice of the 12 co-creative thought transformations and at the midpoint of journeying through the heart. Judgment is a self-righteous act, frequently based on preconceived notions, colored by emotional content and past experiences. Judgments limit awareness since they are dismissive. They end further investigation and terminate interaction. Compassion, on the other hand, leads to understanding and empathy for another and his or her circumstances. Judgment leads to heart closure, while compassion supports heart openness. Remaining open helps you to realize that we are all one. Attempts at possessiveness are a waste of time, since what you truly seek to own can only be given freely. Trying to control another is exhausting and fails in the end, as the person's spirit will remain free. Your greatest and most effective option is to bring out the best in another by honoring those traits with the greatest potential for success. Everyone needs to feel good about themselves, and everyone has something they can feel good about. Discovering the light in another and fanning the flames automatically brings out the best in you also. Everybody wins. You never realize how strong your ego defense mechanisms are until you stop defending. When you do let down your guard, even for a few moments, you hear what others are saying, see what others are seeing, and know what others are feeling. It opens you to a whole new perspective. The same is true when you begin to monitor the inner critic, which may be tearing you down with expectations of perfectionism. Becoming egoless opens you to insight and guidance of a more spiritual quality. Once the ego starts to fall away, you can begin to let go of guilt. Feeling guilty arises from the ego's demand for perfection and the need for approval. Letting go of guilt brings you one step closer to forgiveness. The thought of forgiving yourself may be daunting and involve many periods of prayer, introspection, and reflection. The thought of forgiving another for a transgression might be even more daunting. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness is a process for many, an open-ended process. The previous 10 co-creative thought transformations would have begun to cleanse your mind and heart to prepare you for complete faith and trust in your co-creative partner. At this point, you should have been practicing each co-creative transformation for 1 month each for almost a year. Your communication with your co-creative partner should be stronger and the guidance you receive clearer. Now the task is to follow the advice and act accordingly. It is faith and trust that allows you to do this. While progressing through the first 11 alchemical co-creative thought transformations, you made significant emotional changes. Anger has abated, at least somewhat. You are now less judgmental, defensive, and controlling. Along the way, some life issues or psychological complexes may have been resolved. This should allow you to look forward to the future rather than back to the past. You now embody feelings of love for yourself, others, and your co-creative partner. Hopefully, this has become your primary emotion with all of its variations of empathy, understanding, compassion, and forgiveness. When you feel the pain of others, you can respond with offers of support. You practice kindness towards all living things and encourage others to be the best that they can be. You are becoming an emissary for your co-creative partner on Earth. The alchemical co-creative thought transformations have also led to intellectual development. At this point, decisions should not be made just from a practical, rational, or emotional perspective. They should also be based on contemplation and collaboration with your co-creative partner. This adds a whole new dimension to the decision-making process. As a result, your choices are more on target, insightful, and highly effective even in stressful situations. Choices are good for you, but also good for others. Based on the insights gleaned from your co-creative partner, you choose wisely. Spiritually, your co-creative partnership gives you the strength to follow your passion. Your beliefs are evolving as insights arise from your interchanges. These beliefs are now the backbone of your ethics, morals, and philosophy. You are becoming a silent spiritual warrior. There is no need to preach, no need to tell others what to believe or what to do. You only need to be an example to others. We are now at the very top of the heart. We entered through the point of desire at the bottom of the heart. As we traveled upwards, consciousness expanded. Your thought patterns now include co-creative ways of thinking and acting. You have been emptying yourself of personal agendas that interfere with being a representation of love. Something else has also occurred. Because of your evolving relationship with your co-creative partner, you are more open to light, love, insight, guidance, truth, and grace. Notice how the influence from above pours down in and through the heart, a spiral of creative energy. The same is true of your body and presence on the physical plane. As you cleanse old thought patterns and follow the lead of your co-creative partner, you become hollow. The whole process of practicing the alchemical co-creative thought transformations is leading you towards transparency. The cells of your body and your energy system become open and receptive as emotional and psychological impediments are removed or overruled. Agendas associated with free will, negativity, fear, and old thought patterns fall away. When the heart is open, your energy system is open. Through the assistance of your co-creative partner, you are aware of subtle spiritual and creative energy. Your heart and mind, along with your body, become more open to light, love, insight, guidance, truth, and grace. Notice how the influence from above pours down and through your energy system to your feet, which are rooted in the physical plane. Your body, mind, and spirit are more harmonious and coordinated. There is a consistency between all three levels. What you intuit and believe becomes what you think and feel. Together, they are the basis for action in accordance with the co-creative process. In this way, you come to be a clear channel, a vehicle for manifestation of divinity on earth in all its forms, in addition to being a vehicle for manifestation of abundance. Essentially, there is no difference between manifesting love, manifesting abundance, and channeling spiritual creative energy. They all follow the same pathway through the open heart. This spiritual creative energy can be used for the common good. As awareness and openness increase, you begin to channel and utilize this energy in ways that enrich your life and the lives of others. Grace descends. Divinity has a human face. This is what you have been working towards, abundance in all its forms for yourself and those you love and touch. So this is the final co-creative thought transformation, moving from self-will and self-interest to the elimination of impeding personal agendas and negativity in order to follow the guidance of your co-creative partner and become the transparent no-self, an open channel for spiritual creative energy. This is not an all-or-nothing endpoint, but a process that you aspire to daily. We sometimes think in terms of absolutes when we think of spiritual concepts like no-self, surrender, or enlightenment, when actually there can be degrees of no-self, surrender, and enlightenment that the lay person holding down a job and raising a family can aspire to. This is doable little by little. Everyday blessings, insights, abundance, and miracles become the norm. All this might sound like a tall order, but it does not have to be so. The no-self fits neatly and even efficiently into everyday life. It is the dedication to the process of conferring with your co-creative partner and then following the insight and guidance given instead of self-interest. The concept of no-self has a range of manifestations, from simply listening and heeding to dissolving all personal agendas and surrendering everything. A mother forgoes her needs so her baby can be comforted. This is no self. A father goes to work to support his family. This is no self. The level you function at and the degree to which you ignore self-interest is between you and your co-creative partner. It may change from situation to situation or from one time to another. I was traveling with a friend and we were staying with her teacher for a few days, a Cherokee medicine woman. It had not occurred to me to check out the accommodations ahead of time. I was glad to experience the desert and have a place to stay. Unfortunately, the home had between 4 and 7 resident cats, depending on the time frame, and I am extremely allergic to cats. I develop severe asthma when I am around them. There's no medication that helps with this, and I've tried them all, including inhalers, antihistamines, and anti-allergy medications. The first night of my stay was the closest I have ever come to being hospitalized for not being able to breathe. My host was aware of the problem, and during the first night and every night of my stay, she shape-shifted and came to my room in the form of an owl or other large bird. I never saw the bird physically, but clearly felt its 5-foot wingspan hovering over my body. The beat of the large wings, flapping back and forth, sent rushes of air onto my face and neck and through my lungs. I was never frightened by the visits. I knew my host was there to heal me. I awoke early in the morning after the first night, and only the lower left lung was clear enough for me to breathe. I got dressed and went out walking. The fresh air always seemed to clear my lungs, and by the time I returned an hour later, I was feeling much better. The medicine woman was up and having breakfast. She told me that she had done her best the night before, but was only able to clear the lower part of my left lung. Her description was exactly what I was feeling when I awoke. The transformations presented in this video series have many levels of mastery. Each time you work your way through them, new insights and skills will arise, and your experiences will be different. There are layers and layers of teaching associated with each one. They all have one goal: to open your heart to greater love for yourself, others, and your co-creative partner, while attracting and receiving abundance. My recommendation is that you focus on one co-creative thought transformation each month for a period of 1 year. After a year, you will have practiced, but not mastered, each one of the 12 thought transformations. At that point, you may choose to return to the first alchemical thought transformation, the do-it-yourself fantasy, and begin a new cycle of discovery, insight, and spiritual growth. Each time you repeat the cycle or return to a particularly difficult co-creative thought transformation, new insights will arise, fostering further spiritual growth. It is my hope that this video series has helped you to understand the importance of an open heart. The saying goes that crime does not pay. The answer to that should be kindness does. I also hope that you have come to see that surrender and enlightenment are not unattainable absolutes for the layperson, but a way of life practiced daily through the interactions with the spiritual realm and your co-creative partner. Namaste.